So you gotta ask yourself, are you a man? Wait, no.
Are you a sheep or are you a wolf?
Yeah, that's what it is. We're the OSMcast. Hey folks, and welcome back to the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome and the authority on pizza. I'm Basil.
I'm Douglas.
I'm Kevin.
And that's us. It's been an eventful couple of weeks here at the OSMcast. Why, we've been playing lots of Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes, we have.
And other things, and then we watched some cartoon shows of all sorts of different varieties, still involving animals.
Well, yes.
I mean,
many of them.
I mean, now Doug has also consumed all of BoJack Horseman, and
Yes.
we just watched Ringing Bell, which we'll get to later on.
Yeah.
We got all our moments. We got moments of awesomes. We've got moments of FU and our patented minutes. But first, we've got messages from the peoples to us about pizza.
Yes! Awesome!
And so let's just go ahead and lead this off with a wonderful message. Well, you know what? Before we get into that, they reached us by various means, and you can also reach us by very similar, if not the very same means. Why, you should go to our website, OSMcast.com. Check out our Index of Awesome. See what else we've talked about. We've talked about a lot, and we are slowly creeping on to conquer total official episode count of AWO. Now, I know that they just released episode 130 at the time of this recording, so we're still neck and neck. They're still closer to match point than we are, but that's okay. We keep releasing. We're going to get you. I don't think you listen, but we're going to get you. It's going to happen. But you can check out our Index of Awesome. You can also leave us comments on the webpage, on the various posts themselves. You can send us emails at awesomecast@gmail.com. All complaints to podcast@shadesofbuffet.com. We're going to let this one slip, Alan. Let this one slip. But you can also follow us on Twitter at AwesomeCast, Tumblr, AwesomeCast, Facebook, AwesomeCast. You can also follow me at It's Basil Time on Twitter, and Kevin at Twitless_Kevin. And as always, if you want to follow Doug, you have to be a terrible corporation and earn Doug's ire.
Yes.
And remember, it's Twitless_Kevin.
Yes, it turns out there's actually a Twitless Kevin with no underscore, and Barry was following the wrong Twitless Kevin.
That's shocking, actually, but...
we didn't even know there was one without the underscore.
He's a young buck of 24. I mean, how could a Barry... I mean, Barry understands age, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, well...
More of an abstract than a factual component of existence.
He is from the godless north.
That's
Am I right?
He is.
But from our email, awesomecast@gmail.com, we got a voice message. That's something we can also take, apparently, because we have it. And this came from Alan Mendez. Well, you know what? He'll tell you all about it right here.
Hello, OSMcast. This is Alan Mendez of ReverseThieves.com. I was listening to your podcast, and you did this episode about this little rink-a-dink cafeteria-style pizzeria called Mellow Mushroom. And at first, I thought it was amusing. I'm like, the OSMcast guys, they're not doing anime, they're reviewing a restaurant. How amusing. How quaint. And pizza. They think they know about pizza. Alright, whatever. Everybody has an opinion. It can be wrong, but they have it. And so you're talking about this place, and you're praising it to high heaven. So be it. So be it. The frog in the well doesn't know anything outside of his little pond there. You have your right to your opinion. And then I hear the words that cannot be taken back. Doug talks about the godless North and their horrible pizza. No! That's the step too far, the step over the line. You ignorant, superstitionalist hicks think that you know about pizza? Maybe your mouths have been so corrupted by your dirt pizza that you don't understand what real pizza tastes like. I understand. You're ruined. You'll never know what good pizza tastes like. All right, whatever, but do not insult the perfection that is Brooklyn pizza. Do not step into the house of pizza and claim that you know what you were talking about. It just hurts my mind that you can be so ignorant, that you could think that the mecca of all pizza is incorrect, and that your slop, your filth, is actually real pizza. It's like if I went down there and I was like, this barbecue is okay, but it's not like a northern barbecue. You would try to string me up from the nearest tree. So do not try to pass off your tripe as a real pizza and Brooklyn pizza as some kind of greasy garbage. And do not even think that New York pizza is somehow inferior. If you do not like a Brooklyn slice, obviously you got a little bit of brain damage, but alright, you can get any type of pizza here in New York. You want traditional Italian pizza? You want the quintessence, the root? Then you go to Little Italy and you get a real Italian slice. You want Greek-style pizza? I don't know what garbage you got down here, but if you want actual Greeks to make you real Greek pizza, then you go to Manhattan. You want strange fusion pizza? Manhattan. You want something a little different? New York. Any kind of pizza. We even got the kind of weird lasagna slices that ain't really pizza, but they call it pizza from Chicago. You want that friggin' California stuff? You can go here. It ain't gonna be as crazy and frou-frou as California, but nobody wants that garbage. To say that anywhere in the incestuous South has pizza better than New York, you are out of your minds. Go back to talking about Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy XIV, stuff you obviously know about, and do not ever talk about pizza on your crazy podcast again, or else I will have to go down there and show you some science, because obviously you and your voodoo and your crazy religion don't understand the actual science of pizza like us in the quote-unquote godless North. Yes, I know that you guys probably just got on podcasting because you thought that the demons inside the internets could get into your souls. But when you actually step outside your little world, you will find out what real pizza is and what real taste is like. So, maybe you're gonna scrape off the crud on your tongue and wake up to the world. Alright, OSMcast. Continue to be awesome about things that you know about. Alan Mendez out.
Brooklyn Rage!
You know, Alan did warn us that he was going to send us words. And he sent us words, actual words. Words spoken into a microphone and transmitted through the internet. It was like a mini podcast in and of itself.
It was some amazing devil speak that he went on and did there. And so, first of all, honey child, I have to tell you, thank you so much for acknowledging that you are, in fact, from the godless North, and you may have to bring us that science. I don't know that we'll believe any of it, because, you know, we got good old-fashioned religion right here. We're good people. We know what's going on, says the biologist. But
it's just good old-fashioned common sense.
Good old-fashioned common sense.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just beats that twiddly old science every day.
I'm just a simple country Buddhist.
But I do need to tell you something, sweetheart. Bless your poor heart. We are going to talk about pizza. First of all, I've never had a Brooklyn-style pizza. I never claimed to have a Brooklyn-style pizza. I had New York pizza. from Manhattan, where the real New York is. Brooklyn isn't really New York. And I thought everybody knew that. And the next thing I have to say to that is that it is greasy garbage. I mean, everybody knows that. It just is. It's just plain common sense. You put a paper towel on it, and it just soaks up all the grease, and it's so gross. You could just powder your pigs in it. And lastly, I'm sure that Northern barbecue is very different from Southern barbecue, because Southern barbecue is actually good rather than that pig slop they eat up there. And I think that's just about all I have to say about that.
Kevin, your rebuttal?
That's just the most amazingly Southern thing I've ever heard. Ever. I've lived my whole life in Alabama.
But Alan's not the only one who responded to our correct tirades on pizza.
Oh, come on, Basil Pooh. Let's hear all of what they had to say.
Although, firstly, just to be clear here, I did not say godless North. I did not mention where or whether or not a pizza god lives and whether or not a pizza god lives in the South.
Pizza God lives in the South.
That was Doug and Kevin. I did not say anything. I am not theoretically and supposedly I am auto-complicit because I am on the same podcast, which means I've gotten total Daryl Serrated.
Well, I never said that the pizza god lived in the South, but, if he did, this is definitely where he would take up residence. It is so much nicer down here.
No, Pizza God lives in the South. And the worm lives in Kentucky.
Now, Vinny, from All Geeks Consider, or at Vinny Ave, A-G-C, can't pronounce words, having... Anyways, I'm sure they probably said some incorrect things about pizza now on their podcast. And then he offered to fly me up. And I told him if he wants to make Doug and Kevin stretch goals, this is still on the table. Right here on the table.
Kickstart that shit.
You crowdfund this. You fly us up. We'll eat your pizza.
I will eat your pizza.
We will eat your pizza.
If we were wrong about our assessment of pizza, we will look you in the eye and give you an apology right then and there. We will even give it on the air if that's what you want, but only if it's any good. Only if it's any good.
So again, if you're willing to put your pizza where my mouth is, I'll take it. Now also, if you can't afford to fly us up, my current goal is, and we'll see how it works out, I do want to drag the entire OSMcast with me to Baltimore next year for Otakon. That is a hope and dream of mine. And if there's a decent pizza place that is appropriately northern in Baltimore, take us. Feed us. That will, because if you vet it, we will try it. That's my offer to you. Pay for us to consume pizza, and I will consume it. I will tell you all about it. In person, on microphone. It's what you want. What you really want. Just let me know.
Pizza for the pizza god.
So there you go. Pizza. And now, it is time for our Final Quest Fantasy Dragon Realm Reborn Minute Quest. Worlds have collided! Oh my god. Dragon Quest is in my Final Fantasies, and what?
It's pretty amazing.
What?
As part of the continued anniversary event that the Realm Reborn is having in celebration of not sucking anymore, they have done a crossover between Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, and there is currently a quest chain and a series of events that you can participate in to get that are Dragon Quest themed. You have to fight brickmen, some slimes, you can buy a slime hat. It's amazing. And the slime hat even jiggles, so when you dance, it'll jiggle.
It's all
around with you?
wobbly, and it's...
Oh, man.
I, not joking, watched it for 30 minutes or something.
And then later, after I got the slime hat, he sat for another 30 minutes as I, this time, got the slime hat, and with his character and with the leader of our other free company.
We were slime hat and dancing.
Yeah.
For a while. It was
good 15 minutes, just 4 people slime hat dancing. We attracted a crowd of people coming in to watch us, and it was amazing.
Now, more on the Final Fantasy front, we've gotten patch 2.38, which is certainly a patch. It's not as big of a patch as other patches. It's more of a prep patch.
Yeah, it does change something. It does change the status quo on some things. The biggest thing, in my opinion, is that it adds the hug emote, which was an emote that was desperately needed in this game.
Also the slap emote.
Which, if you're going to put in the hug emote, you gotta put in the opposite one.
Well, what with all those Lalafels running by and patting you on the crotch? You
I
needed
know.
that slap command.
But kind of the biggest game changer that this patch implemented... actually it has 2 big game changers. The first one is going to be the relic quest. The quest chain for your relic item has been expanded.
Which means if you get through the bullshit part of the thing, which is total bullshit, and they need to fix that.
Well...
But they're not going to fix that.
No. It still does have to be hard.
No, I have no issues with it not being hard. I have issues with it being bullshit.
Right.
That is the issue. If they want to do something that makes it hard to get, that's actually a challenge-based hard, and not just a random number hard, that would be different. If you had to conquer a series of 12 super hard fates, that would be fine.
Yeah.
Or do a series of trials, or something, or even guild heist type things that are localized events that you can do that are super tough. Similar to what they did with the actual thing, where, if you did that, you would get it. Because if it's a fate... Okay, the current system is there are 12 zones that you can go to and do fates in. And if there's a chance in 1 in a bazillion that you might, at the completing a fate, you'll get an item you'll need to upgrade a relic weapon. And you have to get 12 of these. And the drop rates are just super duper low. And it's taken people sometimes weeks, sometimes months of trying to get this stuff to get them. And it is stupid for the amount of effort you have to put into it from what you get out of it.
It makes it virtually impossible for anybody who's playing on any sort of time schedule. For me, I super don't mind, because I basically have no time restriction, and I could sit there and grind fates all day long if that's what I want to do. It's not often what I want to do, but I could do it, so it seems like less bullshit to me, but I understand for, you and Kevin, who have jobs and school that they are going to right now.
Yeah.
You can really only play for a couple of hours each day, and you need to pretty much decide what you're going to do with that couple of hours. You can't really just sit and...
Plus, we're getting into the height of the shiny new exciting game season, so even if I have free time, maybe I don't want to spend, even if I have a day off, maybe I don't want to spend 12 hours grinding in Final Fantasy XIV.
Right.
But if you can get through it, there's more stuff you can do.
Yeah. So that's a game changer, number 1. The second one is that they've added more wards for more housing, and they have made it so that individual players, can now buy housing.
Which are still really expensive.
Yeah, in addition to Free Company. Some people have the sentiment that Square Enix kind of lied about some of this. I'm not sure that they lied about it, because I never bothered to look up and see the exact press releases and what they actually said. But in general, people were led to believe that private housing was going to be different than Free Company housing, both in the models or maybe different layouts. Something about it was going to be different, not the exact same thing. And that it was going to be cheaper for an individual to buy a house rather than a whole Free Company buying a house. This turned out to not be the case. It is just as expensive to buy a house as an individual person as it is to buy it as a Free Company. Which, considering that the Free Company that we spend most of our time in is, is, very small. It's pretty much just us, even though I'm trying to expand it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still expanding very, very slowly and carefully. So for us, it doesn't really make much sense to buy private housing as much as it does to just continue to pool our money together to buy a bigger free company house. But for people whose free company is fairly large and they don't have a house, or they don't have a house that they can customize and be in charge with and things like that, it does open up some opportunities for them, but in general it's not as big of a deal as people were hoping it was going to be.
Well, I'm not sure what they were expecting, really. I mean, this is already a pretty fully fleshed out idea already with the free company housing. Like, it's already super duper in depth. You can do a whole lot with it, and they keep adding more and more to it.
And when I looked this morning, when I looked up on the missed wards, all of the plots were just about taken. There were a couple of the larger and medium sized still left, but all the small ones were already gone. People definitely did latch on to it.
Well, admittedly, I really do like the concept of the free company house more than just my house.
Yeah.
Mostly because they already added the addition of individual members having their own room. Mm-hmm. And it really, for me, it generates a much greater feel of camaraderie to have this company house that we get to go into. We can invite other people in to check out our awesome house, then into our awesome rooms. Like, it gives me enough to deal with but still be within a group of people.
Yes.
So I really like that aspect, but there are some people who straight up don't want to be in a free company.
Yeah.
And this gives them a chance to buy a house and be on equal terms. And frankly, if they had individual houses in, like, its own separate districts and places, I never go. Like, I only go to the district that my free company house is in. And if they want to interact with me, then they can't do it, but now they have a chance to, if they wanted to, I mean, I see no problem with it, but, really, the actual game changer is now we can use our mounts in the zones where the houses are, which before we couldn't. Now we can ride our chocobos wherever we want, except in the main cities, because that would be terrible.
Yes. Well.
But on the Dragon Quest side of things, there is now Dragon Quest 1 on your PlayStation, not PlayStation. It's on your phones, your Android phones and your Apple phones. Because apparently they don't want to call things iThings anymore. But now you can play Dragon Quest 1 on your phone. I can press Venture Forth and create a new adventure log. It's $3.
Oh my gosh, I need that right now.
And the graphics are these weird, like, they took sort of the Wonder Swan-y graphic stuff, and the scaling's all weird and wonky, but it's $3 on your phone for Dragon Quest 1. Why not? And that's been your final Dragon Realm Reborn Fantasy Quest, Dragon Quest Fantasy Final Dragon Minute. Next up, on our OSMcast smorgasbord of fun, Moments of Awesome. It's a moment of awesome. So what you got, Kevin? Oh, don't give me this. You have two potential moments of awesome. We were talking about it in the car on our way here.
Even before we started recording, you looked at us and said, I actually have something for a moment of awesome.
No, I said it was something for a moment of FU. But, yeah, still.
It came out of your mouth, moment of awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. In any case, we're here. We're awesome. It's a moment. Well, what I'm actually thinking is awesome right now. We'll go with that one. because game came out Tuesday, digital or physical disc for PlayStation 3, Fairy Fencer F. Fairy Fencer F. From Compile Heart, who is best known in the U.S. probably for making the Neptunia games. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's running on the Neptunia V engine. It is except it's superior, at least based on my 4 or 5 hours of gameplay so far. It seems superior in that, 1, it has a coherent story. 2, men exist in this universe, and one's in fact your main character. And 3, which is sort of a loaded one, it's not nearly as fan-servicey as the Neptunia games. That's not to say it's not fan-servicey, but in comparison, it's significantly less fan-servicey. You still got girls in skimpy outfits. It's a JRPG from Compile Heart. What are you gonna do? But it's a fun game, as, you know, a hero with a magical fairy-possessed sword that sometimes summons him really cool, awesome armor with a neat rockin' theme music power-up every time you do it, which is probably why I'm going to keep playing it. I don't know, the whole game does not, but the little transformation stuff really feels kind of Legend of Dragoon-like, particularly when you unleash any of your big special attacks. And it's like, it's over the top, it's crazy, there's lots of explosions. It just looks fun. Don't know if the game's really going to be all that good in final product. Compile Heart has a nasty habit of releasing a lot of DLC. And half of it's going to be stuff, well, why isn't this in the game in the first place? And the other half is often the, pay for this if you want to win. But, we'll see. Right now I'm enjoying it. It's pretty awesome.
Is that what your heart has told you? Is that your moment of awesome, or are there moments? You may end on this, if you so choose.
Well, I think the other thing you're thinking of, I'm kind of having mixed feelings about. I don't know.
Then don't worry about it. It's all good. In the awesome. So, shall I go or shall you go?
I can go.
Go.
Okay. So my moment of awesome is going to have to be Minecraft again.
All right.
It's Minecraft again. So some news from Minecraft is that Microsoft bought Mojang.
Who make Minecraft.
Yes. The company that makes Minecraft was bought by Microsoft. I have mixed feelings on that one. On the one hand, I think Microsoft is definitely and obviously going to try to monetize Minecraft, and I mean, that's the whole purpose of buying a property, isn't it? To make money off of it.
Right.
So I can't really blame them for making an attempt to monetize off of it.
Pretty sure you could already buy DLC for the console version. Too.
Yeah, like, you could already buy DLC content for it. You can already buy all kinds of Minecraft, like...
toys.
Yeah, memorabilia. You know, so it's not like the market's gonna get any more saturated with Minecraft junk than it already is. And it's not like... I really don't know what Microsoft can do to mess up Minecraft. I know probably in like 6 months I'll be regretting saying that, like I'll know exactly what they could have done to mess up Minecraft. But at the same time, right now I'm sitting here going, I don't see what they can do to hurt what is already there and is already good. Unless they try to stick their nose into it too much and change too many things, which Microsoft is not actually known for doing when they purchase things.
Yeah, then they'll make Minecraft 2, and you can play with your little Xbox avatar guy. And...
Yeah, that's the more realistic dark future is that they're going to stop continuing to update current Minecraft and come out with a Minecraft 2 that everybody will have to buy. You know, oh no, you have to buy a product, which you don't actually have to buy.
That will launch with Windows 9.
Yeah. On the plus side, though, guy who made Minecraft got an obscene amount of money.
That is actually the thing that I am very, very happy about for some reason. Like, I feel good for this guy. I'm glad he got paid his obscene amount of money. And I wish him well. So, that's the first part of my Minecraft update as my moment of awesome. The second part is going to be that there was a patch for Minecraft that happened recently that I've had to, on all my systems, start new worlds because, there's new stuff that is only in new worlds. So I've started new worlds that are all up to date with the current patch. Mostly it was just, I'm sure there was some behind the scenes tinkering and bug fixes that I am not computer or tech savvy enough to know about, but most of it appears to be just straight aesthetic changes. Like there's a bunch of different types of stone now. Before, when you would go mining, you pretty much just mined up tons and tons and tons of cobblestone. Now they have added, granite, andesite, geosite, like just a whole bunch of different stones that you can mine up in these pockets, which gives, when you're constructing, it gives you, some more options, some more flexibility in what you're able to design. It also makes it so that cobblestone is actually a little bit more rare now. So it makes Wright starting the beginning of the game from nothing just a little bit more difficult, which is actually kind of nice. Like, I'm surprised at how it gives a better feeling of reward that, yes, I bootstrapped up from the beginning, straight from nothing, and so that's actually a good thing. But the best part is that they added in bunnies. They added in a new mob, and it's bunnies.
Bunnies.
And they are adorable. On the computer that is attached to my television, I have made new TV land, which... Well, actually, it's not on my TV, it is on my laptop is where I found all the bunnies. And that's where I have a bunny farm already started, because, oh my god, they are so cute.
Bunnies.
And, the wolves attack the bunnies just like they attack pigs and sheep, so you'll occasionally hear like a little bunny go, wolves. The darker side of Minecraft.
Oh. Wild creatures have all sorts of dark sides to them. Which would be a great segue to our main topic.
Except you promised me a moment to fuck you!
Well, I still haven't had my moment of awesome.
Yes.
So you simmer down there.
Alright.
And I have a moment, although
Douglas, dear.
I have a moment as well. Although no one will appreciate it but me. But that's okay, I can live with that.
It's okay, because right now what I'm appreciating is Professor versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, for your Nintendo 3D Entertainment System. It's a game by video game makers. Developed by Level 5 and Capcom, although I have a feeling it's more on the Level 5 side than the Capcom side. It definitely feels like... So, okay, you've got your Professor Layton puzzle-heavy games with, the Professor, Layton and his kid buddy Luke. Then you've also got Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. You've got Phoenix Wright being a lawyer guy.
Just tell me, has Professor Layton been charged with molesting his little boy buddy, and Phoenix has to defend him?
Not yet.
Come on, Capcom, don't disappoint me.
Now, okay, and then you got Phoenix Wright and Maya, and they're lawyers, and he does the whole contradicting thing, and you get to find stuff in testimonies, and the way the game works is that you start off playing Professor Layton and it's sort of your questing throughout the world until you get to your, main dungeon and boss level. And then it switches to the Phoenix Wright stuff, where you go through an actual trial. And then you have to do all the stuff with the contradicting and the pointing and
Objection!
The good stuff for me. Because the puzzles, they're alright. They're not bad. They are enjoyable in of itself. And I go, okay, this is alright. But then, I get to the Phoenix Wright case that I'm really looking for. I'm like, yes! This is what I wanted. Yeah, alright, I'll do puzzles again. Yes, no, the trials. Although, admittedly, early on in the game, there's this scene that still sticks in my brain, where it is Layton, and he's talking to this cop, and this is the kind of world that Layton lives in. And he's like, so, I need to investigate this crime scene. And the cop's like, whoa there, buddy. Simmer down. I'm a cop, and you're not allowed in here. And Professor Layton's like, no, I'm Herschel Layton. I'm allowed. I've talked to the chief guy. He let me know. Professor Layton? Why? I'm one of your biggest fans. Well, you kind of look like Layton, but I'm not sure you're really Layton now. I've got this puzzle right here that if you can beat it, then I'll believe you're Professor Layton and let you look at this crime scene. And yeah, it's just like, okay, when would a cop ever hold onto a puzzle? All right, this is Layton. This is what you do. Everyone has puzzles for no express reason. And Labyrinthia, where you end up playing most of the game at, is no different, which is really why I definitely give other people that it does feel a little bit more like a Layton game than a Phoenix Wright game. It definitely feels like it's in the Layton engine, because even the Ace Attorney stuff, one of the nice things about Ace Attorney is that you can save at any point and resume exactly at that point. You can't do that in this game. It starts at like either, well, I mean, it's pretty good checkpointing, where say if you start like the testimony, it'll just start at the beginning of the testimony, and every other Ace Attorney game you can save mid-testimony, now you start at the very beginning. Yeah. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but I can definitely tell that it's not, natively an Ace Attorney game. But it's pretty fun. And then my second moment of awesome is Anime Weekend Atlanta. The anime convention of tomorrow's convention of today. Because tomorrow is soon, like in a couple weeks. Like it's like, I think I'm leaving for AWA the Thursday of the week that this podcast comes out.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, and you're going to Japan. You're going to Japan, but you've given up your moment of awesome, so you have to save that for to get back from Japan. So, now we're talking about AWA, about Japanese cartoons, not people going to Japan without me. So, now you may be asking yourself, but Basil, is the OSMcast hosting any panels at AWA? Why, yes. At Fist of MFK, Kent Ward, we are doing panels at Anime Week in Atlanta. He asked the question. I'll probably answer the question again when we actually get to the question. Anyways, we are in fact doing 5 panels during 4 days. Because we're crazy. 4 days, that's right. 5 panels, 4 days, 1 OSMcast. Yeah. So, first up, Thursday.
Yes, there is stuff going on Thursday. We're
actually part of a crazy, there's like a triumvirate in Kennesaw, where it starts off with really, badly animated anime that AWO is doing at 7 p.m. Then at 8, we step in and getting your anime groove back.
We'll show you some good anime.
Well animated, theoretically. And then, after that, Dave Merrill's doing his old school anime classroom.
He'll show you old good anime.
Theoretically. I mean, probably usually is. But, getting your anime groove back is the panel where we try to think of anime that might be somewhat out of the box or so in the box it's awesome. And if you're not sure what to watch, it's a good chance to see something you may not have noticed before. But chances are, if you listen to this podcast, you would. But, hey, you get to watch us watch cartoons. Yeah. That's pretty fun.
Let's throw a little variety at you. A little something for everybody.
Little something for everybody, buddy. Then we move on to Friday, where at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. in room CGC 105, which is over in the panel sections of the Galleria. It is Boys to Men, Shonen, and Seinen, where we talk about shows for little boys and big boys, little men and not so little men. Shows that I think I mentioned a lot of shows actually in our description that I don't actually have to show at the panel. I maybe should look into that, but hey, whatever. It is our sort of our 101 survey of shonen and seinen. What do they have in common? Well, how are they different?
This is like demographic. What was aimed at what?
Mm-hmm. And it is no way comprehensive, but it's a really good tasting.
But some of them might surprise you.
Which we then follow up on Saturday from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m., my patented manga you need to buy right now. Which is manga that I really feel that you should go and need to really buy right now. And that also takes place in CGC 313 and 14. 113, 114. Sorry, 113 and 114. I'm assuming it's just one room that they made bigger. And it's also in the Galleria. And I talk about a bunch of manga that I think you should go buy. That's all in print. Quite possibly in the dealer's room. Happening. Where you can go buy it right then and there. Maybe. You never know. I don't control dealers' rooms.
Well, we're pretty sure somebody from Vertical will be there, so...
Well, we'll see. Last time we did a thing for... I included a bunch of Vertical stuff. They were already sold out by the time people would go get books.
That does happen sometimes.
It's not my fault. Gundam is so frickin' baller. Anyways, Saturday... From 2:45 to 3:45, Spice Girls, Shoujo and Josei. Again, little girls, big girls, little women, not so little women. You know, it is, I'm a really, I do believe that I'm an atonement at heart, where I love the really, really girly stuff as much as the totally dude stuff. And I feel it's all just good stuff that I like to watch and consume. Like lamb.
I still remember the anime club Strange Looks when I was one of the most vocal people demanding we watch Earl and Fairy.
Earl and Fairy was so good. I don't know why other people didn't like it as much.
It's just extraordinarily girly. But I like that. I like really girly or giant robots. Better if you can combine the two.
Doesn't happen as often as it would be nice.
Yeah, no. But it does happen.
But... Then on Sunday, from 3:45 to 4:45 is anime and manga in the digital age. Because the fact is, there are crap tons of ways that you can get a hold of anime and manga, especially manga digitally.
So after you failed to find the manga Basil's recommended in the dealer's room because it's all sold out, he'll tell you where to go online to find it.
It's true. And there's at least, frickin' hell, there's I think 20 places.
The numbers grow.
They do, and they change. Like, the Daisuke selection that I had when I started this panel during Hammer Condensation is a different selection entirely now. Worst one, probably. Than it is now. Like, it's a different selection. I have to go back and refresh the entire panel. Which I'll probably do this weekend. Because we're recording before the week of AWA.
We're having a work date tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's for a different convention altogether, although it's for AWA. Or for In Time AWA. Anyways, that is our plans for Anime Weekend Atlanta. That's been your Moment of Awesomes.
It was a moment of awesome. Yeah, not as good as the first one, but hey, I'm trying something out.
You know what? Well, not F you, but you know what? It's a moment.
F you.
Hey kids, it's time to use the F word. Fuck living, fuck dying, fuck laughing, fuck trying, fuck cursing, but mostly fuck you. Fuck love, hate, and friends, fuck following trends, fuck this song, can't wait till it ends. Fuck everything, but fuck you the most. Fuck everyone, but fuck you the most. With a big rusty pole or a splintering post, yeah, fuck you the most. Fuck you.
Final Fantasy 13 still sucks. Okay, I'm good.
But, counterpoint, Final Fantasy 13-2 did give us Crazy Chocobo, which is the metal Chocobo theme.
Yes.
But, as we've said before, the soundtracks are amazing, even if the game is not everyone's favorite.
Which you can play in the new Theatrhythm.
Yeah.
What?
Which I haven't bought yet, but I'm saving money for it anyway.
What was your moment to fuck you, Kevin?
My moment of fuck you, which is so going to not matter to anyone else in the world. It's really sad, but it matters to me. So, there's a little show, a Fate Stay Night spin-off, Kaleid liner Prisma Illya, as if what if the token Loli was a magical girl. The first season I liked a lot. There's a bit of Loli fan service, I'm warning you now. The second season amped that up. That's not my moment of fuck you, but it's related. Anyway, the second season, gave me a couple episodes at the beginning that was good mix of action and, comedy, and it was good. Then it gives me 6 episodes straight of random crap school hijinks and lowly fan service. And I'm gritting my teeth because I know one of the most awesome characters of Fate Stay Night, who's never gotten a proper animation debut, is coming. She's coming, and it's going to be awesome. And then it's like, okay, I'm thinking, okay, episode 9, she's showing up. Okay, so it's like a 12, 13 episode show, right? So we'll get her, then we'll get the big boss. Okay, that's cool. But 9 and 10, we deal with her little arc. And it ends on episode 10.
What?
This is like, apparently, this is about halfway through the manga that this is based on. But it ended on episode 10. Like, it starts like, it starts playing the theme music over animation. It starts playing the ending theme over animation instead of the regular anime theme. And I'm like, wow, this feels like a final episode. But, they still got to find the 8th class card. There's unanswered questions. We don't know if this new character is friend or foe. And then it ends. It's like, come back in 2015.
Something must have happened with production, because that's really weird for it to end at episode 10.
Maybe if I'd been paying attention, this was something they had said all along, but I don't think it was. I think they ran out of money, and they're hoping for Blu-ray sales. And it feels like they were stretching it out because they felt like they needed to fill so many episodes, and then they realized they had no more episodes. And that pissed me off. It was a very unnatural breaking point, and I did proceed to yell at the TV screen, "Fuck you!" So that was, like I said, it's a show only I care about. Well, I don't know. There's a couple Type Moon fans out there, but, who might be watching it.
All right, Doug.
Okay.
I promised you.
This has been coming for a long time.
This has been coming, for a while.
This is going to be the longest OSMcast ever.
I had an entire dinner conversation with these two guys about how much I hate this show. And that is Teen Titans Go.
As in Teen Titans Go F yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, people who made Teen Titans Go. Oh. Okay. Let me explain my hate for this show. First of all, not even first of all, before I even begin to explain my hate, Cartoon Network needs to do something. Because outside of the Adult Swim block, they have basically turned into Teen Titans Go, Adventure Time, Clarence, Adventures of Gumball, and Uncle Grandpa Channel. That's the only 5 shows they show outside of
Steven Universe.
They barely ever show it.
They're doing a 2nd season of Rick and Morty.
Good. They need it. I'm telling you, I've been watching, and they show those 5 shows, over and over again, ad nauseum.
I believe you. 2
of them are good. But the others. Oh, the others.
But focus this hatred. Focus it on Teen Titans Go.
Okay. No one episode of Teen Titans Go is actually bad. In fact, you can watch a single episode of Teen Titans Go and even enjoy it. It's entirely possible. A lot of them are very, they're lighthearted, they're fun. It's a cartoon. There's a lot of, squish and stretch going on. They're comical. They're not really laugh out loud funny, but they do kind of earn a pleasant little ha ha ha. It's only in their entirety. It's only as a show altogether that you realize how terrible Teen Titans Go is. It's not any one episode, it's all of the episodes.
They existed as little shorts that accompanied a serious Teen Titans series.
Yeah, if they existed as little shorts that accompanied a serious Teen Titans series, I would be fine. I would have no problem whatsoever. But the fact that it is just an entire thing of these little, what should be goofy shorts, or weird, what if moments, makes it terrible. So now I'm going to start with how Teen Titans Go is terrible. Item number 1.
There are actual items. Yeah, I'm seeing them written down right now. Get ready, folks.
My goodness. Yes.
Okay. Teen Titans Go was created after Young Justice was canceled.
Travesty.
That is a travesty. The reason it's a travesty is because of DC's reason for canceling Young Justice. Yup, DC literally, and this is their actual honest-to-goodness reason. This isn't just like hyperbolic talk here. Their actual honest-to-God reason for canceling Young Justice was that there were too many female fans. There were too many female fans of the show, and DC, according to them, girls don't buy toys. So, it's kind of an accepted fact that cartoons in America are generally made and produced to sell toys. We see this all the time. There's an entire Hasbro channel that basically is just cartoons that were made to sell toys. But, just because a cartoon is made to sell toys doesn't mean that it has to be poor quality. My Little Pony definitely displays this. If you watch just the Hasbro channel, even My Little Pet even the My Littlest Pet Shop TV show, which is clearly just made to sell, like, where every new little animal character that they introduce is clearly just the next animal line that they're wanting to pawn off on kids. The show itself is still pretty good. It's still pretty quality.
Well, Transformers Prime was pretty good also for the Transformers show.
Yeah. So, there's nothing wrong with making a show to market it for toys, but the problem is that they made a show. It was good. It didn't appeal to their target demographic. It appealed to a different demographic, and they just said they don't buy toys and packed up ship, rather than even attempting to...
didn't know how to merchandise, apparently.
Yeah, they didn't even try to merchandise towards girls. Like, they just said, girls don't buy toys, and packed it up. And that was it. They only made, 2 seasons of it, or did they make 3?
2.
It was only 2 seasons. They were 2 quality seasons. And so I was really sad to see Young Justice go. And they made Teen Titans Go come out after it. So this is a little bit of a slight against Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go has this kind of baggage that may be undeserved against them, but it is there. It is there, just kind of looming in the background. I'm gonna skip to the third point instead of doing the second point, because I realize they're slightly out of order. But the third point of why Teen Titans Go is so terrible is that the old Teen Titans was actually good. When did the other Teen Titans TV show come out? Was it in the early 2000s?
Probably. That sounds about right.
Well, there was a previous Teen Titans cartoon that came out.
2004, 2005, maybe. Basil will find the answer.
It came out somewhere in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And it was a good show. It very obviously was lifting from a heavy anime style. They were clearly trying to cash in on that, and who can really blame them with how popular anime is?
They had an episode that had a slew of furry curry shout-outs.
Well, not to mention, even though it did feel like they were trying to cash in on the popularity of anime, it did feel like they at least hired people who were fans of anime to cash in on it. So it still felt like a good thing. It felt like they were lovingly, trying to emulate something that they liked.
Puffy Amiyumi theme song and...
Yeah.
From 2003 to 2008.
Yes.
Not a bad guess. Okay.
Yeah, 2003 to 2008. They also had some tie-in movies, and that cartoon was really good. It could be comical at times. A lot of times it could be serious. You can question the authenticity of their adaptation of some of the characters, but they're still not terrible. They're still acceptable adaptations of said characters.
Better than some of the adaptations DC themselves would make after the reboot. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, that's the thing, is that with this Teen Titans Go, when the characters have come back, it's basically a mockery of what the previous show was. It's clearly trying to ride off the laurels of the previous incarnation of the show without actually submitting any new material of good quality like the previous show. Which is, again, why I said if they were making this alongside of a serious show, it would be perfect. It would be great. I would have no complaints about it, but it's not. It's just by itself as this standalone tripe. And it's awful. Which leads me into my third and final point.
So you're saying it should have been just like with a really cruddy Lotus War TV series, the Tales from Lotus Island shorts.
Yes.
Okay, continue on.
Yes. So, and this is my third and final point, and the true reason why I cannot stand this show. The Teen Titans in Teen Titans Go never actually do anything good. They never do anything heroic. They never save anybody. In fact, most episodes feature on one of the characters having some sort of foible that is doing something immensely bad. You know, all too often they let the bad guys get away and they never bother to chase after them because now they're caught up doing something stupid. You know, all too often they're fighting bad guys and they're just destroying the city, and they even make it as a punchline at the end of the episode about how they completely destroyed the city rather than save it. But not only is there never any consequence, as you would expect for there to be in a cartoon show, but they actively continue to talk about the Teen Titans as if they're heroes and good guys when they never even do anything heroic or good. They constantly are just like eroding the characters' personalities down to these horrible little, they're not even cartoons of themselves. Like, they're not even caricatures of themselves. If they were even just caricatures of themselves, it would be one thing, but they're caricatures of something that I don't even know what they are.
Move from 2-dimensional to 1-dimensional.
I know, it's awful. Like, what they've done to Robin, like, I feel like they've cast the wrong Robin, but I'm willing to forgive that. I think I've talked about that a little bit in the past, where with Young Justice having this one Robin and this one having the other Robin, I think they were actually supposed to have different Robins, but that's okay. They still have viable Robins, regardless of what name they actually gave them. This one is supposed to be the one who turns into Nightwing, and yet they constantly portray him as this psycho control freak, which wouldn't be a problem if this wasn't Robin. If this wasn't Robin, who was present in the previous Teen Titans Go, who is currently present in Marvel, in DC Comics, you know, the way they portray Cyborg is basically just this mindless mechanic nut bro who doesn't want to do anything but eat pizza and play video games with Beast Boy. That would be okay if it wasn't for the fact that they decided to make Cyborg an actual Justice League member in the main DC line.
In the reboot, he's a headliner. He's one of the core members, which is cool even if there's so many other problems with the reboot, but love Cyborg, but he's a totally serious character.
Yeah. Let's see. They did a couple of episodes where they reintroduced Tara into Teen Titans Go, and basically they take what was done so amazingly well in the original Teen Titans series and play it as just like a straight up her joke about Beast Boy is crazy in love with Tara for no apparent reason. She's just using him.
But so they actually reverted to her comic characterization.
But they did it so well in the previous thing that it hurts inside to see them do it.
Yeah, in the original original Teen Titans series, she was kind of an amalgam of the original Tara and Tara 2, who was Tara from another universe, but she was good.
Let's see, and it would be fine for them portraying Raven constantly as like this emo joke, if it weren't for the fact that she actually is so quintessential to DC cosmology. Like,
well, if she comes off as emo, it's just because her emotions can destroy the universe. But
well, and
really, she's just really cold and reserved, and she's not. It's just she's got to be really disciplined, or her horrible demonic self comes out and kills everyone.
That's part of the thing. Like, they don't even play with it right. And so,
I mean, even original Teen Titans animated even did play with that right. But
exactly, and that's the point. The real point is the real reason why Teen Titans Go is so terrible, and it's so unsufferably terrible, is because they had so much behind them that was good. They had such a good foundation to work from, and the fact that they decided to throw something that was good out in order to do this tribble is just... oh, it's infuriating. It makes me feel like they don't respect me as a fan. It makes me feel like they don't respect other people as fans. It makes me feel like they don't respect their own property. And that's even more amazing because DC basically has ownerships to the rights of the Western pantheon, the Western mythology. The modern Western mythology is what they've got. They've got Superman, they've got Wonder Woman, they've got Batman. They have all these characters that basically make up our modern mythology. You know, Batman and Superman are to us what Zeus and Thor were to the Greeks. And yes, I know I said Zeus and Thor.
To the Greeks.
To the Greeks.
I would compare... I think Superman to Zeus is fairly apt. I would compare Batman to Hades. Because he's dark, but not evil.
Well, my point is, and this is actually more comparable to the Romans' view of the gods, you know, where they kind of know they're fake, but at the same time, the stories are still meaningful.
Yeah.
Like, what it actually says is still meaningful to us as a culture and to us as a society. And so DC has basically gold, and they just continue to time after time seem to not know what to do with it. Like, the past couple of Superman movies have been very, very bad.
Although they are fairly good at producing animated shows, with the exception of Teen Titans Go, well, they have a tendency to cancel them as they're getting good.
I know. The most recent Batman movie, not the one that is going to come out, but the one that recently came out, it took me several years to come to terms with the fact that it's actually a bad movie. I didn't want to think it was a bad movie, and that's mostly resting on the laurels of the actors themselves. When I actually went back and rewatched the movie, I realized that there were several moments where it was just cut together poorly. And that just shouldn't happen on something that is important as Batman and Superman to us culturally. And so that's my problem right now, is that DC seems to just be squandering what they've got. And they've got something amazing, and they're just not doing it right.
Now my question is, before we wrap this up, because we got a whole other movie to talk about.
Well, yeah, I know. This is going long, but yeah, okay, let's go. Yeah.
What makes DC's stable of characters a pantheon, but Marvel's not?
I didn't actually say that Marvel's is not a pantheon. I just think that DC's, in actuality, it seems to hit a stronger chord with our culture. It seems to like the themes they tend to talk on with these various superheroes seem to be closer to home. It seems that there's something that we're looking for in the DC pantheon more than in the Marvel pantheon, where the Marvel pantheon may be every bit as enjoyable, and it may be something every bit that we relate to. Well, actually, no, I take that back. While the Marvel may be something that is every bit as enjoyable, there is something inherently more relatable into the DC set.
In theory... So you're saying in theory, like Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and all the other DC heroes should be making better movies, but Marvel is making incredible movies about talking raccoons.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You know, Marvel is doing amazing work right now, and they are making amazing things, and I don't think their properties are quite as strong as DC's properties, and they're not making as great movies.
So, in short, get it together, DC.
Yeah.
You've got a chance. You got your Batman, Superman featuring Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman, and everyone else they can cram in.
Just maybe, you should look to the past of other kingmakers, of other Pantheon creators, of godlike figures like Hello Kitty and Sanrio.
Yes.
Where they can tell, for back at, and when they did crazy movies, interesting movies, like Ringing Bell.
Segue achieved.
We'll be right back talking about Ringing Bell. This is the OSMcast.
Cheer and come and play, and chase all the clouds away, little one on the run. How far will you roam? Cheer and come and play. Let your dreams carry you away. Hear the bell you love so well that brings you back home.
Okay, so when Doug and I actually first watched this show was actually way back in 2007. And it was because Anime World Order did a review on it. And I'm pretty sure it was Daryl who did it. I had to actually look up when they actually did this, and it was again, January 2007. So that's, now we're in 2014, so that's a good 7 years ago. They did this review about Ringing Bell. I also mentioned this because they just recently did an episode, as recently, I mean, they released it, I think, either yesterday or today, as we record, about the Discotheque re-release of Lupin III's Mystery of Mamo. And oddly enough, what we're talking about today is Discotheque's release of Ringing Bell.
So in 7 years, we have to talk about the Discotheque Mystery of Mamo.
Possibly. That would not be, So, Ringing Bell is an anime. It went by in the Japanese as Chirin no Suzu. It was done, animated by a studio composed, or a studio compiled by, as it were, Sanrio, which you would probably know as the company that Hello Kitty built. Like, when you think Sanrio, chances are you think of, again, Hello Kitty. That's what we know about in America. There are many other creatures and creations and all sorts of things.
I'm all about Bad It's Maru, man. He's where it's at.
But and then some people actually might know Keroppi. Certainly, one of the more recent creations, Jewel Pet. He's for Anime Club. We tried watching an episode.
God, I think that's gone on for 5 seasons.
It's amazing.
I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. But...
There is. It's amazing. That's what's to it.
But in the 70s and in the 80s, they did a series of movies. They decided to do theatrical animation. And one of those movies was a movie called Ringing Bell. And Ringing Bell is based off a novel by Takashi Yanase, who did lots of children's books and other things. He's really well known for the series that I cannot pronounce that Kevin can.
Anapan Man.
Yes.
Which is running something on 1,200 episodes of animation plus.
Which, admittedly, I learned about the wonderful commentary track done by Mike Till, but we'll get to that later. What's important that Ringing Bell, or Chirin no Suzu, or Chirin's Bell, it was done in 1978. It was produced by Sanrio. It was directed by Masami Hata.
An awesome guy who is still directing stuff.
Yes, he did a lot of episode directing for Initial D. And that is a show that CG is absolutely crap, and somehow I can still watch it anyways. Go figure.
It's just, that's how good of a director he is.
I have to assume so. That must have been Masami Hata's work. And this is a really, really wonderful little movie, because it's about an hour long.
I think it's 47 minutes, something like that.
It's not a long. It's actually referred to as a short, and it was meant to run alongside another slightly longer feature-length film.
Yeah, it's part of a double feature.
And, of course, we would suggest, what's the movie called with the bunnies and the...
Watership Down. We would suggest watching it alongside Watership Down.
I don't know if I would actually suggest that.
I suggest that. I suggest watching this movie and then watch Watership Down. They are great together. It's like a good wine and cheese.
And if you need to keep going, there's Catch It 1.
Which is, of course, the logical sequel to Watership Down.
That's right. But we're not talking about Watership Down or Catch It 1. We're talking about Ringing Bell, the little lamb that could
become a wolf.
He could be whatever he wanted to be. He just chose a different route than one would expect when you look at the cover of the DVD.
Yes.
This is like some seriously cute Disney animal, early Warner Brothers even, cutesy, happy, fun little talking animal fun. That's what it looks like on the cover. That's what it looks like for about the first 10 minutes.
And then, surprise, it's not. And admittedly, this is kind of one of those shows that is really hard to talk about without starting to really spoil it. But chances are, if you're listening to this, you probably know about Ringing Bell already. but we're still going to try and do a spoiler-free as part as we can.
I don't know how long this can go spoiler-free.
But the initial gist is the thrust of the series, of the show, movie, short, whatever, is that Chirin is a little lamb.
The little bell.
His fleece was white as the driven snow. And still kind of tastes... Anyways, he's got a little bell. His little bell that somehow I assume the farm must have put on him.
Yeah.
That, apparently his mom was it was a pretty awesome sheep. And so her kid got this bell, and probably all the other sheep got pissed off that, Chirin gets the bell.
Well, actually, they say, I think in the English dub, I don't know if they say it in the Japanese, it may just be an English add-on, that they put it on Chirin because he was always wandering off and falling, so that they could hear when he falls down.
I like to think that Chirin was so special.
Which is actually a reason that farmers put bells on lambs, is that if they are prone to wandering off, you can find them easier.
That all the other lambs got ticked off that Chirin got the bell. Chirin's so special.
None of the other lambs seem really bothered by it. The fact
my
that
fanfic headcanon that's going on right now.
Okay.
And I have reasons for this that happened later on in the film. But we'll have to get that in spoilers. That Chirin's so special that Chirin gets the bell. So anyway, Chirin's got this bell, and he's this happy, frolicking...
Jeez, Basil, bells are my triggers. Warn me on your fanfic.
Chirin is this happy-go-lucky lamb, Kevin. And he's prancing around, and he kind of prancing around, starts off with this fog, and then it suddenly turns into the hills are alive with the sound of music.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not in Japan. I think they're in America, because there's, bison later. America, fuck yeah. America.
American bison. I mean, who knows? This takes place in a magical fairyland where lambs can do whatever they want, but they do not need to go past that fence. Mm-hmm. Fences are bad. You don't cross them. Because if you cross them, there are bad wolves out there. And they'll eat you. They'll eat you hard, soft, bloody, whatever. They're going to eat you. That's what's really is important in life to know as a lamb, that wolves will eat you. Mm-hmm. No matter how cute and cuddly you think you are, that only makes you that much more delectable.
It's true. That's one of various principles of carnivorism, is that the cuter animals probably taste better.
It's true. And so far, that rule has panned out in life. Which is why the panda is the most delicious of all creatures, and we'll never know. But we're not talking about pandas, we're talking about lambs and wolves. Ringing bell.
Lambs are pretty delicious.
You keep wishing upon a star, just like Chirin, who is, of course, precocious, and he wants to run off, he wants to frolic, and it freaks his mom out, because she's like, where the hell's Chirin? Guys, lambs, why we keep... Chirin, guys, and of course his mom goes off. And
I'm pretty sure there was a deleted scene where his little rabbit friend got visions of blood and torment, and he...
Wrong movie. Wrong movie.
Oh yeah, that's the wrong movie. Sorry.
It'd be pretty good foreshadowing, but wrong movie. And his mom finds him and yells at him and says, "No, you don't. What are you doing? There are wolves out here. Oh my God, Chirin." Don't be stupid.
I had to ask a bat where the hell you were. That's the kind of day we've been having.
A bat. There are three of them. They should have something. And an owl. You know how those owls are? Ooh, they twist their head.
You tried to sell me Tootsie Pops. I don't know what the hell was up with that.
Yeah, it's... Chirin, it was a bad scene. What are you doing? I've got the bell so we can watch you and listen for you. And you went so far away, we couldn't even hear the bell. What the hell, Chirin?
Totally actual dialogue from the film.
It is. Totally actual dialogue. Japanese and English. We are auteurs.
Well, what's really amazing about this movie is the backgrounds. The backgrounds in this movie have, it's one of these old school style movies where, it has the hand-painted backgrounds and they are just beautiful artwork. Mm-hmm. And they've actually, the way they animated this, a lot of times when you have these really beautiful backgrounds, you can tell the animation where it's moving so, like, a little bit too easily. Like, that was a Disney problem. But this movie doesn't have that. Like, even when the wolf shows up, there are many times where the wolf looks almost indistinguishable from the background, except for the fact that he's moving. It's very well done. And, like, the contrast with that they play with it, where, the darkness of the wolf, like, how black and just... Ooh, he looks, compared to how little sweet and innocent Chiron looks, and how round and soft and white and fluffy he is in the midst of all these, like, jagged, sharp lines and edges. It really plays this kind of good-evil dichotomy just in the visual look. And it's really wonderful. If you really like looking at just good classic animation art, this movie is definitely one that if you haven't heard of before now, you definitely need to go check out.
It is a film that is, in Japan, is certainly considered an animation classic and something you would be expected to watch as a fan of animation. Like,
there was a lot about this movie that really reminded me of Unico. Like, I was a big Unico fan when I was a kid. I would like to still be a Unico fan. It's just hard to get a hold of Unico.
It actually no longer is.
Really?
Thanks to Discotech.
Oh.
They released like 2 or 3 of the movies.
Oh, good. Can you get a hold of them for me?
I think I already have.
Okay, excellent. Well, we need to watch those again. But... more importantly, like, the shape of Unico, the shape of Chiron is almost exactly identical to Unico. It uses a bunch of the same kind of little sound effects, like the little squeaky noise when they...
I believe it was one of the key animators was one of the main people, one of the main animators in the Unico movies.
Yeah. So, if you like the Unico movies, it has that same sort of niche appeal to it. But at the same time... even though Unico was very, very beautiful in and of itself, like, this takes it to the next step. This goes to the next level, where it's even more, like, Unico was very beautiful a lot of times, but it had the problems of you could tell which boulders were going to move.
Yeah.
Well, you can't in this one, so it really is, like, it takes the beauty of that and then transcends it to a more immersive world, and it's just wonderful.
Also, Ringing Bell... well, once again, something out of the Mike Toole commentary, but the Ring Bell was animated in a higher frame rate, more like Western animation, whereas Japan tends to have a lower frame rate in their animation.
Well, I think that's also probably due to the fact that this was an late 70s movie. I think this is, it was theatrical. I have a feeling that even theatrical anime gets a better budget, so you can get better things like your full 24 or 30 frames per second animation. But what we didn't really talk about, and this is sort of a key point of the movie, is that it does take a dark turn.
Oh, it takes a really dark turn real fast.
I think we're almost trying to stay away from the dark turn.
Yeah, I was trying to talk about the other parts of the movie before the dark turn.
All right, well, before we get to the dark turn, we'll point out that, Wikipedia is very helpful in this as they tell me that Sanrio's first anime film to have a dark plot. The only 2 films produced by the company that has a dark plot is the movies for Ideon.
I think they were referring to stuff that they also worked on, but
the movies were produced by Sanrio.
Yeah,
and they're dark.
Oh, the Ideon movie. Well, the second Ideon movie is damn dark.
So
damn dark. That's Tomino saying, "I'm not making a sequel to this ever."
And this is not exactly the lightest. It can't. This movie has lots of moments that's very, very happy.
Oh yeah, the beginning of the film,
and very adorable. No, throughout the film, there are many moments that suddenly will get cute and cuddly. Even in the middle of something dark, it'll suddenly turn a little. Even
in the scene where the wolf is fighting the bear, like, when the wolf starts to win, like, the bear's face goes all cartoony.
And he just kind of goes, and stumbles off.
But man, this movie is it's really neat. Like, this is one of the neatest things, and I remember key scenes of it. Not as well as, other movies, but definitely key scenes. I remember watching it, like, I remember things from this. I remember this character. I remember this. But, like, it's all snippets and little bits. And, the director, and I really, really recommend watching this movie first watch the movie in either English or Japanese. It's good either way. But then go back and watch it with the Mike Toole commentary. Mm-hmm. That dude researched the film. It's a great commentary track. There's lots of little neat elements. And honestly, I did not realize just how awesome Masami Hata really was until he really got into it. And one of the key things that really got me was when he mentioned that in the end, he was the main animation director on the Japanese side for the production of Little Nemo. And Little Nemo is actually one of the very formative movies of my childhood. It's actually one of the very first movies that I started realizing to start looking at things with a more critical eye. Because I remember watching that movie when I was a kid, and then watching it later on when I was a little bit older, and I started realizing that, this movie's really, really fun to watch, but the plot is, it's not as there as I really thought it was. But I really like watching the movie, and it's when I really first started, starting to separate, more than just, I watched this movie, I like it. Or, I watched the movie and I hate it. I started realizing there was nuances in art, and Little Nemo was one of the first films that actually got me thinking about stuff like that. And he was probably one of the driving forces of why it looks as good as it does. Mm-hmm. And this movie, again, also looks super fluid, super nice. I'm really sad that no one has the money or is willing to commit the money to pulling out the actual theatrical millimeter film and redoing it so it looks good, like an actual remastering.
Yeah,
that was one of the things that we learned about. You learned in the Mike Toole thing was he explains exactly why the film, it's good, but it could have looked so much better if they had a better master of it, and why is there not a better master? And he explains that.
Yeah, I'm really glad we listened to the commentary that he did on it.
He also does a really great job of explaining all the bits and pieces of all various studio members and what they did. And
now, one thing I kind of have to disagree with him on is he kept praising the music, and I don't really care for the music of Ring a Bell. I find it to be the worst part of the experience is having to sit through that sing-songy, haunting melody music.
Oh no, I really liked it.
I don't really care for it.
I like the one kind of in the middle with the kind of it's sort of kind of the training montage, as it were. What I find it was I really find it it mostly is that one main haunting motif, and he builds on it really well, including during the training montage where they take the same tune but they apply new lyrics to it that take a much more forceful wordage to it. Also, when you listen to the first bit of...
Well, it goes from being a sonnet to a march and then back to a sonnet again.
But the lyrics, when you first watch the movie, it kind of makes it seem like it's the mom looking for Chirin. Mm-hmm. At the end of the movie, it takes a different connotation entirely.
Yeah.
Still Chirin, but the connotation is completely different. And I really liked the transposing of the same theme at the start and the end. Sort of bookends the movie for me. Mm-hmm. And this is a pretty, I want to say, surreal movie.
Yes.
And I feel that the musical score does underpin. It sort of props up the surrealism of the movie itself.
Yeah,
I can totally see why you don't enjoy the music, or why it's your least favorite part of music. But I do think that the movie, I'm not sure what kind of music would have made it better.
Yeah, I can't really think of what music would be better there, so I just accept it as it is. But just saying, I'm not going to be humming those tunes.
Well, that could be true. I mean, it's not Hime, but.
But yeah, I like the music. I like music pretty well. But I like 70s Japanese anime music in general. All the best mecha theme songs are there.
Well, or the ones of today take good inspiration from those.
Yeah.
So it's the 70s was a very formative year for animation, and it's...
The 70s was a formative year. That's a great line.
The 70s, yes. All of the 70s was a formative year. I stand by that statement. That's the most accurate statement we've ever made as a podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
That was at the period. I was reducing it further.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
To reduce Ringing Bell, it's good. You should watch it.
Too long, didn't listen. Ringing Bell is good.
But I'm not sure what more we could say before really,
Oh no, we're going to have to...
Throwing in the dark twist.
We're going to have to spoil this.
No.
Why we mention it alongside Watership Down. Well, we're going to have to spoil this.
But it's a movie that makes you think.
It is. I'm actually... Mike Toole does ask the question in the commentary, would you show this movie to your children? And he brings up an excellent point, and it's a question that I have been sitting here trying to answer. I don't have children, so not showing it to my children, but showing it to my niece. I don't know if I should or not, because on the one hand, it's really great. It's really great animation. It's a really good movie. It never actually shows any, like, blood or gore or anything like that, which I can't say for Watership Down. But it does have some very, it has dark scenes, like it doesn't shy away from the fact that the wolf is a killing machine, that it goes around killing stuff.
Spoilers, there's a wolf, and the wolf is deadly.
Yeah, but that's actually not even the reason why I would hesitate to show this to my niece. It's actually because of the course that Ringing Bell, that little Chirin takes.
And I think this is a point where we're going to take a break, because this is going to be a much more in-depth discussion. So if you want spoilers, awesome! Keep listening. We're going to be talking all about the movie in a much more in-depth conversation. But if you want to watch it first, go ahead. Go watch it. Discotech has it. It's on Amazon. It'll probably be... There's a decent chance it'll be at AWA. They'll probably have a booth there. You can probably buy it. It is only $18 right now on Amazon. They've got plenty of copies. You should go buy it right now. And then wait 2 days if you're a Prime member. Of course you are. Watch it, then come back. We're taking a break here. This is the OSMcast. And we're talking about Ringing Bell, a late 70s movie, short, theatrical something, directed by Masami Hata, based off a novel by Takashi Yanase, about a cute little lamb who really needs to be a wolf.
Yep. The biggest spoiler of this movie,
the dark, shocking twist,
is that this little lamb is a cute little lamb, and then his mommy gets killed by a wolf. Rawr! She's killed by a wolf. And so he goes to seek revenge against the wolf, but then he finds the wolf, and he decides to screw that. He's not going to get revenge against the wolf. He's going to become a wolf.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
He becomes a wolf. It actually has a real samurai movie feel to it. A little bit how, the young apprentice goes up to the samurai master that has wronged him and is like, train me in your ways so that I can defeat you. And the wolf goes, yes, I will take you on until you are great enough to defeat me. If I succeed in teaching you, I will have succeeded in teaching something that can best me. If I fail, then I shall simply kill you.
Well, it still takes a while for the wolf to warm up to this idea.
It does. The wolf doesn't warm up right away, which is actually part of how I felt it was even more like a samurai kind of thing.
Yes.
You know, it did take the wolf a while to warm up to the idea. Chirin had to prove himself in his seriousness.
I kind of even like when he first comes up to the wolf and is like, "Face me, wolf!" The wolf just kind of smacks him away with his tail and, like, knocks him off a cliff.
The wolf is just like, go fatten up, then I'll kill you.
Chirin's really durable.
He actually is.
Like, he's really durable. Like, he takes a lot of hits in this show. In this short movie, theatrical, whatever. He takes a lot of hits. He keeps on ticking. Like I feel that's a pretty good foreshadowing how tough he does eventually become. Is that he constantly takes all those hits, and then of course he goes to the buffalo. He's like, "I'm gonna get you," and buffalo are like, "Blah."
Whatever. They just knock him aside.
Then the skunk sprays him in the face. The prairie dogs kick him around,
whack-a-mole, and bundle him up in dirt and throw a ball down and
lethal whack-a-mole. Well, not really lethal, but he still ends up going off another cliff.
But yeah, and you get A, it shows how cartoony the show is, movie, short, whatever, and B, how durable Chirin is. Like he totally, constantly takes these licks and he just keeps on going. He's gonna be a badass, guys. He's gonna be like the wolf, not hungry like the wolf, but he's gonna be like the wolf. He's gonna be dangerous. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He is going to be Batman. He is going to be in our modern pantheon of heroes.
Yep.
And still be less deadly as Superman is Man of Steel.
Yes. It does, strangely, it both reminded me of the Sith Rule of Two, which had its own dark roots in samurai-style Bushido. But as well as, and I'm pretty sure it's a case of them stealing from Ringing Bell, but also the relationship in Dragon Ball Z between Piccolo and Gohan.
Yeah.
Which starts as, just sort of a thinly veiled animosity and goes to, like, actual thinly veiled friendship.
But as time goes on, Chirin gets really dependent on the wolf. And I do find it interesting on how they translate wolf. Like in the English dub version, he's just wolf. Whereas in the Discotex translation,
his name is Woe.
Yeah, well, it is his name in the Japanese dialogue. In the English dub, they only just call it the wolf.
But I find that really interesting that his name is Woe. Like, because he lives a very woeful existence. He's totally accepting that this is what he is. This is what nature has decreed for him to be, and he will be it to the best of his ability. Yeah. But he seems to be very melancholy about the whole thing.
And really, he only even really starts taking seriously letting Chirin follow him around and learn from him when Chirin really does learn that things have to die.
Like, I think Chirin saw a snake who killed a mother bird, and the snake threw the bird down and was going to go for the eggs, and Chirin went in to try to save the little bird's eggs, but he ended up just, like, stomping on them and crushing them.
Knocking him all over.
Yeah. And so he was sitting there crying about that when the wolf was like, "Fine, I'll teach you how to be a wolf."
Well, this is being a wolf, kid. Things die so that you live.
You really should have been like, "I, Chirin, will knock you all down." Because you totally did. But, alright, Chirin. I'm going to make you cool like me. And you'll find out in the end, spoilers, it's not cool to be me. You would have been way happier just being stupid. But the real thing is that Chirin is stupid. His stupid just comes out of a completely wrong way of dealing with things. He goes, "Oh man, it really sucks. I need to stay behind the fence and be good." And he goes, "No, I'm going to be badass. So badass that no one will ever hang around me ever again."
Yes, because there's a training montage where the wolf does train Chirin.
I particularly like where Chirin repeatedly rams his head against a tree.
And it totally takes a tree out.
Well, there's a bit of foreshadowing in this. Well, not foreshadowing. There is a bit of common sense influencing this in that boy lambs don't grow up into sheep; they grow up into rams. That's what he does.
They're sheep, but the males are rams, the females are ewes.
Yeah,
but,
he doesn't grow up into a ewe. He grows up into a ram, and I guess because he's gone feral at this point, and he's living with a wolf. That is actually something that does happen to real sheep in the real world. Is that if they do grow up, even if they are a domesticated sheep, if they're reintroduced to the wild, their horns while they are in captivity tend to be a little bit dwarfed compared to their wild cousin. But you can take even a very well domesticated sheep and put him out in the wild, and in one generation they will have that horns fully back again.
And a ram, they've got really hard heads, and they have horns, and they got hooves. It's not fangs and claws, but he learns to use them just as good.
He gets the job done. And I would also argue that I think Chirin still is a pure soul. He's just a pure soul bent on hell bent destruction.
And the wolf's grand scheme, the wolf's grand plan in the world is just kill everything. Just kill everything.
Well, I mean, he's a wolf.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to eat and kill some more. And he is the biggest badass on the block, as evidenced by the awesome scar.
Yeah.
I
do also like a grown-up Chirin who's got the weirdly forward-pointing horns and is, like, really way too skinny for a sheep, but he's got that kind of sinewy, muscly look to him. Like, he's not fat, he's muscle,
He's all muscle.
And
he's totally that wiry Bashonen that all the ladies love.
He's the dark, brooding, pretty boy who you can take home and change.
Only you can't change.
No, you can't.
His course was set long ago. By long ago, I mean 3 years ago.
Because, he's still...
animals.
But he goes from cute little Disney sheep to badass Tatsunoko Studios fighty sheep.
That's right.
Because that's who the animation director of the action sequence is.
That's right, he turned into Gotcha sheep.
I actually kind of got a Ken Ishikawa vibe, but that's not too dissimilar.
So get.
Well, I'm just saying I'm just saying adult Chirin could pilot a Geta machine. He could.
So you're saying get a goat.
Yeah, get a goat. Get a sheep.
Get a sheep. Well, get a ram.
I mean, you get him, you can get the wolf, and get a 2, and I don't know, and get a 3, but they'd have to be
So you're saying that Chirin was in a planet of dinosaurs. Chirin would whoop the dinosaurs' ass.
Oh, yes.
I believe you.
Chirin would...
100%. Chirin is a cosmic force by the end of this
Chirin
movie.
would say, fuck dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs would say, we're fucked. That's, that is, in fact, as I said right after the movie, I want to see Ringing Bell X MD Geist. I want that crossover to happen. I want them to meet, I want them to fight, I want them to team up.
No. I want Chirin Bao.
No!
I want Chirin Bao.
There you go.
I want them, and then I want them to go hang out with the JoJo's crew making poses. I am sure that somehow Chirin can make some pretty awesome poses.
Said, this Chirin easily hangs the most badass shonen heroes, is our point.
He's a really badass ram. Instead of his horns curling around, they do kind of curl and spike out. He's totally like a killing machine.
It's sort of implied he cultivated them that way.
Well, more importantly, I think the movie really does make, even though he's a ram, he really has become the wolf, just like he wanted to be.
He has been with the wolf. It's reached the point where he has mostly forgotten his sheep life.
Yeah,
he follows the wolf. He's embraced the wolfy nature. They go out and they kill things because that's what they do.
Even though he's technically a sheep, he's a wolf. He's a wolf now. Which is how the movie makes its even darker turn when he actually goes back to the farm where he grew up, and they're going to kill themselves a bunch of sheep.
Because that's what you do. And then his training will be complete.
That's right. And then Chirin goes to F up a whole bunch of dogs.
He does.
Like, holy crap.
Apparently, since the last wolf attack, the farmer that owns these sheep has wised up and has gotten himself some dogs.
Like 20 dogs, probably.
Like a legion of dog.
But he didn't foresee badass sheep instead of wolf.
That's, epic fight scene.
And that might, like, I really like the scene of the wolf versus the bear, but I feel that the scene of Chirin versus the dogs is way more artistically interesting.
Yes.
Because it's dark, and they play with blues and blacks, and they're constantly showing it from different angles, and almost different art styles, where suddenly you'll see it from the point of these super scared, and once again, cartoony sheep, who are totally, look totally like it was in the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And they're scared out of their wits. Again, not quite foaming at the mouth scared this time, but
still pretty scared.
Still pretty scared. And you see him fighting outside their window area, and it's all dark and almost lightning-y, and just scenes of just shots of movement, and him just wrecking these dogs. Like they ate nothing, because they ate nothing, because no one ate anything, no one ate nothing against Chirin.
Yeah, Chirin, he wrecks these dogs. It's amazing, and does once again have that kind of Tatsunoko flair to the action.
But man, that scene where he actually did trumps in on the other sheep, and it just that all that rain just dripping off of him,
and the other sheep are just like pants crapping terror on their faces.
And it's like right as he's about to like go in and like he sees, and I couldn't, every time I saw this I couldn't help but laugh, because it was obviously such a shocking moment to Chirin as he saw that he was causing history to repeat itself.
There's this,
and the mom is so melodramatic as she shies out.
My baby. But yes, there's another little baby sheep who looks just like him, and a mother sheep trying to protect him. And Chirin, realizes he's no Anakin Skywalker. He can't kill the younglings.
And he goes back and faces his dark samurai lord.
Mm-hmm.
And the inevitable battle, just like in Ninja Gaiden, occurs. Chirin's on one side, Wolf's on the other. They tussle until the striking moment where Chirin totally is horned the dude right through.
And again, in a very samurai-like fashion, the wolf is very happy about this moment. He's succeeded in training something that could best him in combat.
This is like the best death he could hope for. This is, he's not going to die alone ignobly somewhere. He dies in battle. He even kind of, it's really kind of more from the pose of how he's impaled, but it even seems like he's kind of embracing Chirin at the end.
He seems very grateful for dying by Chirin's horn.
This is like what he wanted, apparently. I actually wondered if he hoped this is what would happen. Like, he took him to the farm. He was hoping that this would spark their confrontation finally. Like, Chirin really had reached the point where it didn't seem like he was ever going to actually try to kill him.
Yeah.
Well, no, he said, like, you're like a father to me now. I don't want to kill you anymore. Let's just wreak havoc. And that's not what the wolf wanted. The wolf said he was going to teach Chirin. He wanted to teach Chirin everything, including how to be a lone wolf. And unfortunately, that's where he didn't teach correctly. Because once the wolf was gone, Chirin wasn't ready for that.
And there's that moment, and the moment that really makes and we've kind of just been sitting here, like, narrating the movie.
Yeah.
But the reason is actually all for this build-up right here. The most important moment of the movie where the movie says its message the loudest, is when Chirin looks back at the other lambs. And there's a moment where you think he's going to achieve his redemption, he's going to be able to go back home, and the lambs are still all terrified of him. Mm-hmm. They don't know what he is, and they back away from him. They even pull the little baby back. Like, in the English, the baby lamb asks, "Are you a wolf?" In the Japanese, it just doesn't say anything. It just comes and looks at him in awe. But, you hear the expression sometimes, that in order to kill the monster, you have to become the monster.
Or he who fights monsters becomes a monster themselves.
Yeah. Most of the time when that is pulled off in a narrative thing, it almost seems a little hokey. It seems like they're trying to hit the message too much. But this, I think, is
usually when we see this in a story, our hero doesn't really become the monster.
No, but this is a situation where he really has become the monster, and it feels just so. In this epiphany of that's what has happened to him, just feels so organic.
He has become the monster, but he's not really a wolf. There's still some sheep in him, just enough to keep him from really being happy as the wolf. He can't fully embrace that wolf attitude, and he's stuck between the two.
And unfortunately now there's no place for him in the world.
And he killed his last companion, trying to save his sheep kin, and now there's just nothing.
Don't even want him around. They are afraid of him just as much, if not more so. And he's...
it's because he's the monster that they could become, which makes him immensely more terrifying than the wolf. The wolf is something completely alien from them.
And to them, he might actually be more alien just because they've never seen the like before. But yet throughout, he still has that bell. Well, that bell never leaves him once. And now as he gets older, it doesn't sound like they no longer do the sound effect anymore. Like it becomes more of a childhood thing into a more of an adulthood thing.
But it's still there.
But it's still there. It's still a part of him, and I think he realized that he can't let that go, and that not letting go means that will never find peace.
Yeah.
And that's where the real darkness is. That's where and they tell you in the movie, and he was never seen again.
Yeah.
That's it
ends on a real downer, guys.
That's the maybe you don't want to be Batman story.
And then and then it ends with that song again, going like, "Cheered, where are you?"
That's what happened to that little sweet lamb.
Yeah, you realize, it's not the mom looking for Cheerin, it's you going, well, what happened to Cheerin?
It's the mournful dirge of, what was once this nice, sweet little kid, who became something else.
Well, he got what he wanted. He became a monster, and then he realized all of a sudden, oh wait, he's a monster. Like he defeated the wolf. He saved those lambs, but they weren't going to celebrate him. They were terrified of him.
And so, what are you going to do?
He is the hero of this story. He does in fact perform a heroic action at the end, making him.
But he is a tragic, Byronic sort of hero.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is take another break, and we'll come back with questions from listeners of the internet like you. From listeners like you, from the internet, from Twitter, specifically my Twitter, @It's Basil Time. And I'm going to sort these in two different sets. Set one is going to be for actual reading about questions, and we have some other questions.
Okay.
Just in general. So,
ring a bell.
Let's see. From Vinny, again, at Vinny Ave AGC. I'll consider, I'm pretty sure. Compare the back cover and the front cover of the DVD. Which is more accurate to the movie? And I've got it right here, and I'll let y'all... We're going to pass it around, and we're looking at it. The front cover and the back cover. And I'm going to say the front cover.
Yeah, I got to say the front cover, too, because at least the front cover has a picture of the wolf on it, where the back cover really doesn't.
Well, the back cover, you see a little bit of a surly Cheerin, but you don't really... It doesn't really give you any sort of indication of the darkness that the movie really has. And I feel that the shot of the front of the DVD cover of that very ominous picture of the wolf, just entirely encompassing the back, looks like it's about to consume Chiron whole.
The spine actually has the most misleading, which is just the happy little prancing Chiron.
Yes, although I think either cover, if you don't know anything else about the film, you have no idea what you're getting into. You don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what's coming.
On the one hand, like, if you do look at this movie from the perspective of this movie does teach you about the value of life and about the importance of not straying down the dark road, I can see this as being a good movie to show to young kids, but at the same time, it still might be a little bit of a heady concept to start.
Yeah, this is definitely a parent or close family friend. Really, you gotta really think about this before you show it to the kids. They should probably... I don't think you shouldn't show it to your kids, but you need to pick the right time.
Yeah.
Next question is from Alan Mendez. So what other Hello Kitty characters should have ringing bell like movies made about them?
All of them. All of the Hello Kitty characters should have movies like this made about them.
I think Hello Kitty should star in a film about compensated dating.
Yeah, that would be good.
It's Sandria, but Jill Pet. I want to see Jill Pet. Super dark and edgy, but still very cute. And then speaking of the lesson, what do you think of the lesson of ringing bell?
I think I already covered that.
I think we kind of did, yes. I think there are actually a few lessons you could learn from this film, and they're worth learning. One hopes as adults you've already learned them. But this is definitely something... This could be very good for children if you catch them at the right age and at the right time.
Well, from James Lee at Gigashame. Would you show this to a child in today's world? What would you speculate the effect this film would have on a child? And it's a really good, question. I think for a lot of people that is one of the questions about this film once you're done.
Well, as far as my speculation, I think it would actually have a net positive effect when you include the positive things that you do end up learning from it, like, straying down the bad path does have poor consequences. Life is valuable no matter what it is.
I really do feel that if a kid is really into Batman,
yeah,
like really into Batman, or also the Punisher,
yeah,
stuff like that, where it is definitely revenge stories,
a dark revenge-driven anti-hero.
Like, I feel that Ringing Bell really does tell an alternate scenario, and possibly a way more realistic scenario, of what that would actually be like.
The end result of if you follow the path of revenge.
And I do feel, especially as big as, say, like Batman is, and other characters like him, heck, even Green Arrow, who is current, that's airing on WB right now with the Arrow show, and if someone really kid really like, or an adult really likes that. I think ringing bells are very important.
Well, even Arrow, well, I don't know if you a little spoilery if you never got to the second season.
I haven't, so don't.
Okay, Arrow does its own take on your very same thoughts you're thinking right now. If you haven't gotten to the second season,
well, my biggest concern is actually just for the immediate nightmare fuel that it presents.
Yes,
it does in fact present a lot of immediate nightmare fuel, even though it does shy away from actually showing any of the bloody scenes or any of the actual gore. There still is clearly fighting and killing and death present in it, and it is something that, especially for a 3-year-old who's just now beginning to grasp those concepts, it might be a little much.
Well, then I think the question that question you start the way you start framing that's now no longer a should you?
It's a when.
It's a when should you show it? So I think we definitely think you should show this
I think,
to kids.
I do think. I almost want to say I think before 5 though. I think you do want to show it to them before 5, before they're old enough to look at this and go, "Oh, this is baby stuff," they're just fascinated by it.
Right. Also, it also really depends, honestly, on what you show them beforehand. Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't... I think nowadays, if you don't give them a good staple of 2D animation to watch and enjoy...
Yeah.
Like, something especially as old-looking as this, as good as it is...
It does look a little old.
It does look a little old, and it doesn't help that the transfer is not so great.
Yeah.
That they're probably going to watch this and immediately, shy off because it's not...
3D.
Not 3D, not what they're used to.
Yeah.
So, I do feel that this is, Ringing Bell, like, it's a great show if you raise your kids right. And by kids right, I mean right to show them Ringing Bell.
Yes.
But I think the core message of the story is very important for someone growing up to learn.
And, they really just don't make things for kids anymore, because this was 100% made for kids. This was made for kids to watch. This was made for a family to sit down and watch, little kids included. And, I look at the swarms of stuff that's being made for kids now, and nothing really has a dark storyline like this.
It's true.
Like, they just kind of don't do it. Mm-hmm. Like, even the stuff that's for older kids is a little bit more upbeat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm normally the first one to bitch at, Newbery Award-winning novels. You get the Newbery Award by killing someone's pet or best friend, But, yeah, this handles it better than most Newbery Award-winning books. Yeah, I'll stand by that, even though that's probably a controversial statement.
All right. Also from James Lee at Gigashame. Can you think of any other works of children's fiction that is comparable in its themes and emotional impact?
Well, besides Watership Down that we mentioned.
Watership Down. Yeah, I grew up watching the Watership Down movie. Mm-hmm. And I took it to school. And everybody in school loved it. Like, we were sitting there in, like, second grade watching it. And the way, and at first, my teachers didn't think anything was wrong with this. And it wasn't until the other kids started requesting to watch that movie, Watership Down, and they started requesting to watch it as the Bloody Bunny movie. The Bloody Bunny movie. That was Watership Down in my experience. But Watership Down is a good one that deals with death in a very strong and powerful way, and also a lot of other things that I was way too young to recognize, but particularly death, I think, is the one that I grasped onto at that age.
But yeah, I was thinking much of it, and also, again, like, stuff like Batman. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of characters who have this sort of revenge story, but they end up becoming more heroic out of it, and also more accepting by the people around them.
Batman especially, I think, maintains his humanity with his, thou shalt not kill philosophy. The Punisher is just kind of crazy. I don't care what continuity or version you're talking about, because he just flat out kills people.
Unico actually had some pretty dark storylines.
Yeah.
Like, Unico itself was actually pretty dark.
It's a very Greek mythology based.
Yeah, it was.
So there we go. That was our questions for Ringing Bell. We got a lot of other questions, but for things not just Ringing Bell. Not Ring a Bell, but Ringing Bell. You keep ring my bells. And
we keep thinking about Bravely Default.
Ring my bell.
So, from Nico, when's that Gundam Build Fighters episode? It's coming!
We swear.
We swear, one of these days.
I'm going to be in Japan for a while, so you got time to do some of these ones that I have no business being on.
Yeah, we may talk to you about that anyway, Nico. We'll keep in touch.
Something will happen.
So, speaking of AWA, from Hisui, RT, or Alan Mendez, what are you looking forward to most at AWA?
The Mio concert I won't be able to go to because our panel is next to it.
Being in Japan.
Shut up with your being in Japan.
What? I'm going to be in Japan.
I'm jealous.
The whole country is like an anime convention.
There is a lot of really good panels at AWA. Like, for example, again, on Thursday, as I'm pointing out, there is, in one block, there's the worst animated anime. Our panel, then Old School Classroom. On Friday, I did stuff like, a Junichi Swabe featuring Space Dandy. deconstructing, I believe it's Satoshi Kon. The 70s anime panel. There is several Q&As I really want to go to.
I think there's more than 2 tokusatsu panels somewhere in there.
Yeah, there are a few. Of course, Totally Lame Anime and Anime Hell. There's one all about Yaz I really want to go to. 3-minute anime. There's one that's called The Coin is Mightier Than the Sword. Or by the illustrious Elizabeth Christian. Burn my word, an authoritative and comprehensive review of the Shinsengumi in print and on screen.
Oh, I hope they bring up Bakumatsu Rock.
And there's also the homemade. I'm torn between the homemade Kaizoku concert and Jailstrat's Kill la Kill Spot the Reference panel. Same time.
Yeah, I did love me the Kill la Kill references, and I'm sure I didn't catch half of them.
But there's still the licensing Seinen Josei alt manga Vertical Comics in 2014. They're doing a Georgia Philharmonic thing with doing anime music, at AWA, which looks really neat.
Of course, as I said, even though we've got a panel right next to it, Miku, or as I knew her back in the 80s as Mio concert, she is the queen of 80s mecha theme songs.
I'm so sorry, hanging out on a concert. I like to do panels.
Somebody videotape that shit. I don't care if they tell you not to. Videotape it, put it on YouTube. I want to watch it later.
Oh well. It is what it is. Let's see. Okay, also, will Kevin take pictures of all the Type Moon cosplay AWA?
I don't have a camera.
God damn it, Kevin.
Not a good camera.
See, Kent Ward asked what AWA panel lamp this year. We already covered that. From Jeff Tebbets. Best Japanese beer, go.
Have I had Japanese beer?
Unfortunately, I haven't had that much Japanese beer, so I'm going to have to say Sapporo, but I fully recognize that it's probably not the best Japanese beer, and so if anybody wants to come on and correct me on that, feel perfectly free.
I will say that
I'm a much bigger study of sake, and because that changes every year as to which one's the best one, I don't think I can.
Yeah, I definitely have more experience with sake, and that's not even saying all that much, but...
Yeah, I have more experience with Japanese sake than Japanese beer.
I'm honestly trying to... I don't think I've ever had actual Japanese beer.
I have had... I've had several of the beers from the Hitachino Nest beer.
Yeah, you see... I didn't actually like them that much. I know they're supposed to be Japan's craft beer, and I may be holding it up to a higher standard than Kirin or Sapporo for the sheer fact that it's supposed to be a craft beer, whereas those other two are more comparable to our big guys.
Well, I don't know. I had their espresso stout and I really liked it. I really like stouts.
Oh yeah, I
So
don't care for stouts. I prefer ambers.
I do want to try their XH, which is a Belgian strong ale, and I really like Belgians. Mm-hmm. So I think I might really enjoy that one. But from ones I've had, I'll probably have to go with their espresso stout.
Well, I am totally open to if people want to tell me what the best Japanese beer is. I'm going to Japan. I am planning on drinking my way across Japan, both tea, sake, and I can certainly add beer onto that list. So, all
right, and then finally from Mint Mania 2DX. What are your thoughts on the PS Vita game Criminal Girls and the state of anime fandom that allowed for an EN release?
What was the last part?
The state of anime fandom that allowed for the English release.
Oh, the English release. I'm given to understand it's going to be possibly heavily edited for U.S. release as well.
So what's Criminal Girls, Kevin? I don't know. I'm a bad anime fan, apparently.
Well, it's a game. It's
yes.
I may be misdescribing it because I just am trying to remember what I've read. It's an RPG where, these are girls who are criminals and you send them into dungeons, and after dungeons you get to punish them if they've been bad.
What?
Oh, yeah. It's exactly how it sounds. At least we're not getting the sequel to the creepy monster game where you touch them in naughty ways, where changing their underwear is a main part of their equip set.
On the one hand, I feel very sad about the state of anime fandom that this got an English release. Like, I look at my fandom and I go, what's wrong with you? Why? And at the same time, I also want to get it and play it.
I do sort of have a...
I feel more of it's not so much, not just a state of anime fandom, it's also a state of the Vita has no games.
And there is an element of, well, we can get this game for it, maybe we should.
Like, the Vita, like in America, it's primarily used for indie games that most people get via PlayStation Plus. But in Japan, it's mostly for pervy games.
Strangely, yeah, they've got a back and a front touchscreen. Like, I'm not kidding, there's a game that's kind of a Monster Girl strategy game that there's a part of the power-up process involves you running the back touchscreen, the front touchscreen, in a way that just to be frank, it looks like you're jacking off the Vita.
Well, it's the weirdest thing. Like, when it comes to this kind of thing, like in anime fandom in general, not just this with the Vita, but like, you know, porn games in general, like Japanese porn games in general. I might
have more respect for these games if they actually were porn games. they skirt the edge of being pornographic as much as Sony will let them.
I feel the same way. Like, if they're going to do it, go ahead and do it. Be what you really are deep down. Don't pussyfoot around it. But at the same time, like, I feel this sort of level of disgust for, like, the people who super enjoy this kind of thing and are super into it. But at the same time, I think I am one of those people. Like, I always want to play it. I always want to see what it's like. Whenever I get my hands on it, I play it, and I sit there and go, hee, this is so fun.
There are a few games like that are definitely guilty pleasures.
Oh my god.
I really need to play that frickin' Pigeon Boyfriend Simulator thing.
Yes, oh my god, you need to play it.
Like,
it is sort of magical.
I promise I'm beating Phoenix Wright, or Layton versus Phoenix Wright, but I'm doing that first. Anyways...
Like, I can't decide if I'm a hypocrite or if I'm...
Well, I complain about ridiculous Lily fan service, yet I watch tons of Lily anime. I have my moments, too.
I can't tell if I'm a hypocrite or if I'm doing it right and they're all doing it wrong.
But, speaking of things, doing it right, doing it wrong, who cares? Awesomes out of awesomes for Ringing Bell.
One awesome Nietzschean glimpse into the darkness of all our souls.
One really awesome, deep, built-in subwoofers in his throat. Totally jealous of Mike Toole commentary track.
I don't know. I can't come up with a funny thing, so I'm just going to say that this is really awesome. I'm going to go ahead and give it like a full 10 out of 10 awesomes and just be done with it, because this is something that if you haven't seen it, you absolutely need to go back and see it. I'm not going to promise that you like it. What I am going to promise is that it's going to make you a richer person. It's going to enrich your soul if you see this.
And I forgot, and before we wrap this up, I do have to say, my one complaint commentary, Mike Toole confused Akira Kamiya as the Wolf's voice actor when he's the adult Chirin's voice actor. And that's, you know.
Yeah, it's serious business.
That's serious business, man.
But yeah, so 10 out of 10 awesomes. Watch it. It'll, even if you don't like it, it will enrich your soul for having watched it, and you will be a better person for having seen Ringing Bell.
Like I said, you can find it on Amazon. It's like $18. We'll definitely have a link in the show notes, the OSMnotes, at OSMcast.com. You can also probably find them and at their booth at AD Way. They might have some copies you can buy there. While you're at it, how about you come check out our panels? We told you all about them earlier. We'll make sure we'll list them in the show notes because I'm crazy and I'm willing to write lots of text.
The AWA website has a great schedule where you can even cross-reference by the people running the panel. You can click on me or Basil's name and see all the stuff we're running, when it is, and where it's at.
But this has been the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome and the utmost highest authority on pizza. You can find us at awesomecast.com. Where from there, you can leave us comments. You can send us emails. awesomecast@gmail.com. Unless you have complaints, which is podcast@shadesupoffae.com. Don't worry, Alan. I sent your audio also to them. They might use it too. We'll find out. I did you a solid. But for all other complaints, please send them there. Don't worry, we'll hear them here too. But again, comments, emails, Twitter, we're at OSMcast. Tumblr, OSMcast. Facebook, OSMcast. Sometimes we update them. You can, of course, download us on your favorite RSS feeder podcast catcher thing of choice. You can't find us on the iTunes store because iTunes sucks and won't put us on there for stupid reasons that I don't even understand, which is why they're stupid. But you can add us manually. Please do so. Maybe they'll get the hint. You can't find us on Stitcher. We're on Stitcher. Also, I'm on Twitter at It's Basil Time. Kevin's on Twitter at Twitless_Kevin.
And I no longer just check my Twitter once a day. I check it at least twice now.
Yes, he actually will post and respond to things. It's pretty impressive. I am very proud.
Assuming I don't forget to check it.
I am usually very proud. It varies by the day. Of course, you can find Doug on Twitter if you're a really crappy corporation.
You can totally find me on Final Fantasy XIV on the Leviathan server.
It's true.
If you are playing Final Fantasy XIV and you want to join our free company, let me know and I will hook you up.
We also can send you referral codes so that we all get free stuff out of it. Mm-hmm. That'd be neat. We can also make sure you get hooked up with a 14-day free trial. If you want to get in touch with us to get on that, please send me a message on Twitter or on Facebook or what have you. We'll take care of you on Final Fantasy XIV. We love playing with people. We love dungeoning with people. We love helping out, going on quests, guild heists, what have you. We'll do it. We have no shame.
I'm looking to start up a static pretty soon.
That's later because we got AWA and Japan.
Yeah, I've got Japan first.
So we'll be back. Probably your way. Yes, Gundam Build Fighters. And eventually the Lego movie. We got so many things we got to talk about. But we'll get to it all.
It's coming.
We got nothing but time. This is the OSMcast. And we are out.
まつげを微笑みよキリンの鈴で思い出すこの世の寂しさまた悲しみ